Welcome back, you guys, to another episode of the Bull City Pioneers podcast. Tuning back into your two favorite Latinos. I'm Luis.
I'm Hector.
And I'm Solis. Last mixer drops. What is up? Yeah.
Hey, so today, you guys, we have Solis. Hey,
what's up, Luis?
Hey,
thank
man.
you, bro. Yeah, appreciate you.
So,
man. Thank you, bro.
We from the Bull City,
That's
but
right,
we came out to the to Raleigh to get to know this guy.
Yep.
Awesome dude. It's been in the works for quite some time now. We've
That's
been
right,
in contact here and there, and trying to get this into on air, you know.
Yep.
But how I said, thanks again for giving us a chance to, you know, come out to Raleigh and for showing some love.
Heck yeah, man.
We got a free mixtape.
Mixtape, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Getting into the flow of things.
Yeah.
So who's Solis? How did this start? Like, what do you do? Like, what's up?
Yeah, man. Honestly, who is Solis, man? That's kind of like a difficult question for me to answer, man. Like, who is actually Solis as an artist? And honestly, I haven't even figured that out. But what I can tell you guys is that Solis, you know, he's just very passionate about the music, you know, and just want to influence the youth and the generation, you know, to inspire them to follow their dreams and all, you know, and just stuff like that, you know, in the projects, you know, it has like a message, a positive message, you know, and not just with music in general, just in life, you know, and, you know, not just for my Latinos, of course, I'm always have pride with my Latinos, but for everybody, every race, man, you know, like,
especially minorities.
Exactly. Heck yeah, man.
Point that out.
Yeah, man. Honestly, just do it for everybody, for the culture. But
and of course, I know you when you say culture, the North Carolina culture. That song when you
the cypher,
North Carolina, the cypher.
Yeah, man. Shout out to those guys, man. Honestly, they gave me the opportunity. Everybody in there, NC Latin, cypher killing, man. Yeah, man. Appreciate those guys.
Go watch that. The Cypher by Solis. It's dope as fuck. If you're from North Carolina, you're gonna see that shit's dope as hell. It's for North Carolina by North Carolina. Go check that shit out.
That video when you were sitting in like the office?
Yeah, like in the office and all that.
Okay, yeah. And then the like studio and then like all the people were just
Heck
there.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
it's funny because
dope.
like man, because like the rest of the other guys and all, they were like, they had some scenes where they were like in the cars and with the girls, and I'm like, I was thinking in my mind, I need to be there too, you know. It's like, damn. Yeah, then when they told me like my part of my scene's gonna be in the office and all, I'm just like, what? I literally drove like 2 hours, you know, like 2 hours, 3 hours.
In Raleigh.
Yeah, from Raleigh to Charlotte. Yeah, it was Charlotte. Yeah,
Gotcha.
But you know, I didn't took it the wrong way or anything like that. It was just like, oh, this is dope. You know why? Because like it makes sense because like they saved my verse as like the last part. It's like the main, you know.
So how do you like meet these guys? So like, did you meet them at like a concert or something?
You know what's so funny though? Honestly, bro, that's a good question. It actually was an Instagram. They just direct messaged me. You know?
Damn.
Yeah. They just found my music and heard about it. Like, get this guy in the cypher. You know.
Just
that's how it happens.
Yeah. That's how. I mean, just like when what is it? Amara La Negra, when we went to her TED Talk, she said like so much can go down in the DMs. Like not only like you know just like you know trying to hit on a girl or a boy, but actual fucking business. Like you can make business through Instagram DMs, and as we can see, that it's another product of doing business through the DMs.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of social media, man, honestly, like there's a lot like the youth and generation. I don't like the fact how like. Not a lot of us, but like there's some certain artists out there complain about how I can't get my music heard or anything like that. But if you think about it, we got social media and we got technology, nowadays. Yeah. It's so easy like to network and everything, put yourself out there. Back in the mid 90s, 80s, 70s, we didn't have technology.
Even 2000s.
Yeah, exactly.
You had to go to the label.
Textbooks you have to read through and everything, figure out everything. Right now, all the information is right in the internet.
It's
right
in front of you. It's in front of you. You don't need a fucking label. I see so many artists who start up, you know, they're doing good, they're successful, they're getting big, and then they're like, okay, I gotta sign for a label, I gotta sign for a label eventually, and then they sign for the label, and then they're like, fuck. I shouldn't do that. Fuck, I shouldn't have signed for that fucking label. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, Lil Wayne, bro. I know he had some controversy with his label for a long, like, I think it was a whole decade, I think it might have been. I think he wasn't able to release an album. Oh, yeah. I just know that he released a lot of singles in that time period.
Honestly, like, definitely agree with you all the way, man. Record labels, like a lot of these artists, what they get it twisted from, they think the record label is what really puts you on. It's really the big hand and the big help. But honestly, the best way to do it, if you want to be controlled, you know, with your music and all, you got to do it independently, you know. I think that's a smart way to do it. And the record label does help you out, you know, offer you tours, you know, shows and everything, and they do help you, you know, put you on the radio and everything. But like all the percentage of the money goes to the labels and all. Some artists think like you and a label, you're all good and you got all the money, but majority of all your money, bro, to the label.
Yeah. Anything is just gonna blow up in like a year, but like for you, for example, how long have you been doing it? Like,
man, honestly, like taking it seriously, I could say 17, honestly. 17? Just like seriously, gotcha. My first tape, I was like
2017.
No, 17. 17 years old. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, 17 years old.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Keep hustling, man. You just gotta keep hustling.
Yeah.
Did you have a question on it?
I was just gonna say, like, with all them guys that were in that room at the cypher, bro.
Yeah.
Would you like? Are they like? Would you say they were like pretty already like good standing in their music as well, or like some of them were like in your like in your space, like in the same growth stage? Or
honestly, man, it was just like different ages and all. Man, there was like some grown mans and all, like been at it through many years. Yeah, there was only like 2 or 3, probably 20 years old in there. Yeah, man, it was just like oh snap.
Would you have jumped on a track with one of them?
Yeah, we can do it. Yeah, man, that's smart.
All right.
If you could pick somebody like with like a huge artist though, like who would you jump on a track with?
Maybe Logic.
Oh
Logic,
shit!
yeah.
Holy shit! Don't you say nothing! Don't you say nothing! Don't you say nothing! Oh, he's always joking around on the podcast, bro. He's always saying, "Yo, Logic looking at it."
It's true.
Like, leave me alone, bro. What I do to you?
Hey man, jump on the track with Logic. You got it right in front of you.
Wow! No, just Logic. Yeah. I like his music, you know, inspiration.
Yeah. How long did it take to record the cypher video?
The cypher, man. Honestly, it was separate, bro. Because every artist likes from a different city. Somebody's from Durham, Charlotte, and then I'm from Raleigh, and then other different cities. You know, yeah, man. It took like about maybe like a few weeks or a month or so. But yeah, when I shot when I had to record, you know, my verse and all. I knew I had to be prepared because the other guy, the one hit me up in the DM, I could not disappoint him. I got to give that first impression, you know. And I was just a little bit like nervous. Oh man, I gotta kill it. Come from the brown dirt, Mexicano, you know. I was just going to the studio and all.
Yeah, and who's your DJ, bro? How long have you been with that? Not your DJ, your producer.
A producer?
Yeah.
Oh, Aliski Productions. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. I actually met him. Last year at Merch Raleigh. He's like he's my homie, engineer for right now, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I really appreciate him a lot because he's mainly took care of my mixing and mastering with my music and my project, the one that's gonna release this fall. It's called Mix or Drop. It's like my alter ego. Yeah, the alter ego. You like Eminem, Slim Shady?
Yeah.
Solis J. It's Mix or Drop. It's more like crazy wordplay, rhyme schemes, and everything like that. So
be looking out for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope.
So where are you from? Where were you born? Where are your parents from?
Yeah,
I know you're Latino.
Yeah, definitely. I'm actually Italian. I'm not Mexican. No,
hold on, what?
Holy shit,
that's so smooth.
Hold on, man. I think it's so
led us straight.
So I'm not Italian, man. I'm actually Mexican, of course. I'm from Mexico, Guatemala de Pinzón, Guerrero.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but all my life, man, I've been raised here in Raleigh. So 3 months as a baby, you know, my parents crossed me from the border, you know. So as a little baby, you know, so. But I definitely Mexican, trust me, you know.
Blood.
Yeah, definitely.
Blood,
yeah. The Gatorade says it all, man, you know.
The Gatorade.
Yeah, well,
let me tell you guys. So, we got here, we were probably sweating our balls off outside, and this man brought freaking Gatorades. He came prepared, he came with the charges. He probably came more prepared than us.
That's awesome, though, man. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys, definitely.
With the, like, Latino, like, it was something that piqued my interest, too, because, like, I want to see, like, maybe I just don't see it enough, or like I'm just not in the right spot at the right time that I don't see enough like Latino creators and stuff doing their thing. So like you being a musician in the music scene as a Latino, like how does that make you feel about like the space? Like do you feel comfortable in it, and like you think that like you have a chance? Not that you have a chance, but like, you know
honestly,
what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man. Honestly, when I was like 13 years old, when I was trying to rap and all, that always got to me, you know, because like. Majority was just like different colors, you know, and then, you know, like usually people in the hip hop scene would think like, oh, he's Mexican. You're not supposed to be doing it. You're supposed to play soccer, work in constructions and all that. It used to get to me and all, like, because it's like, sometimes as a generation now, we look at every race, you're supposed to do this and certain thing, but it doesn't really matter. Anybody's welcome in the hip hop, you know, in the hip hop scene and everything.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I know what you mean, and I hate that as well.
Yeah,
I hate
definitely.
it as well. Just like, if you're black, you're supposed to rap.
yeah, exactly.
If you're Hispanic, go play soccer.
Definitely.
If you're white, go run
Definitely.
cross
Bro,
country.
even our parents sometimes do that shit.
Yeah,
Definitely.
They
Oh,
plant
yeah.
that in our heads, like you can't do this. Like
Yeah.
it's not like a stable thing, you know. Like you have to
Definitely.
go out and like my dad's always like, why don't you learn how to fix a fucking doorknob? Because you never know when you're gonna need that
That's
skill.
so crazy.
And I'm like, but like.
Definitely,
I
man.
know, I understand. Like, I need that skill. Like, it's
Definitely,
useful in
man.
the future when
Yeah.
I own my own house and whatnot. But like,
Definitely, bro.
it's not what I want to do as a living. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I'm a fan of learning.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a fan of learning, but I want to experience. I'm not. What do you call it? I'm not conservative. I'm
Right.
not conservative. Like I want to try different things, even if I fail. Like, hey, let's start like a fucking I don't know a business like
Business.
let's say
So,
mowing business.
definitely.
I was thinking of that actually.
Hey, if you fail, you
Like,
fail. And
yeah,
it's fine.
definitely.
You learn so much through failing, and that's
Definitely.
okay. That's what Hispanic parents do not understand is that it's okay to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody fails. I mean,
definitely.
shit. I mean, like my
And then it
dad,
takes
he
one
had
time.
like he had a successful business transporting of goods business in Honduras. It was really big. He started off with one truck,
Yeah.
ended up having like I think it was between 7 and 10 trucks.
Oh, snaps. 10
And
trucks.
then he fucking failed. He
So,
went
right.
bankrupt. It's like it's okay to fail, and that's
Definitely.
what that Hispanic parents are just so obsessed with having security. When I'm just like, sometimes you can't reach security if you don't try different things. You know?
I definitely agree with both of y'all. Definitely agree 100%. I think honestly, our parents, because my parents are the same way also,
Yeah.
they expect us to work.
Yeah.
9 to 5, you have to work but it's like, it's a new generation now.
Yeah.
Majority of the money that we earn is, it's technology.
Yeah.
You
You
definitely do that.
you can make a lot of money through the digital world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not against the 9 to 5. I'm just saying like I don't want that forever.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Like I understand that like it's a way to like make a stable
Survive.
income, and like I'm fine with that because I know I need something to fund the projects
Yeah,
that I'm
of
doing.
course,
You
of
know,
course.
so like that's the part that I'm okay with.
Yeah,
I just don't want it to like limit myself.
Yeah.
definitely, man.
One thing that I've seen a lot of artists that we've had on the podcast is that yes, they have a 9 to 5, maybe, but they still they don't
We have some people who do it full time.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, of course. But they also have like they don't just work that 9 to 5. They create art, or they have an art form or a creative way of expressing themselves. You know,
Definitely.
like it's okay to work a 9 to 5 is what I'm trying to say. But if if you like to do something like a certain thing,
Yeah.
like
Just making time for it,
make
man.
it
That's
time,
what
make
all
time
matters.
for it. Like
Definitely. That's
like,
the hustle,
I mean, Hector.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, finish my bad. I always do
I'm
that
not trying to
shit.
roast you.
I do that shit.
Yeah, not trying to roast you. Yeah. I work a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You work a 9 to 5. You work a 9 to 5, but you still create, for your brand, and that's
Yeah.
okay. You got to go through the struggle.
Definitely.
Yeah. I was just gonna say like you this man was working. How much you say you work 12 hours?
Yeah, like 12 hours or 10 hours.
And then he comes home and like works on his music, bro.
Yeah, just
That's
making time for
fucking
music,
tired,
man.
bro.
Yeah,
That's just
man.
fucking tired.
Exactly. I had to be
Like-
in the studio at nighttime, bro. I was like half asleep in the studio recording.
Yeah.
I was so close to even the freaking mic, man. Honestly, man, I was just that
Damn,
tired. I was
that's
like,
crazy.
yeah.
And then you had to get up the next morning to go to
Yeah,
work.
like at
Do
5
it
a.m.,
all
yo.
over again.
And my mom's making me wake up at 4:30 a.m. because man, I can't be waking up
Yeah.
that early. That's hard
Yeah.
waking up,
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
See, that's the thing. Like, if you love something that much, you have to wanna sacrifice a lot of things to be able to
Definitely.
do that thing.
Definitely.
Just like us, we sacrifice a lot sometimes.
Heck
Our
yeah.
afternoons,
Yeah.
when we used to record almost in the summer, I think it was last summer, where we recorded some weeks back to back to back. It was literally almost every day some weeks. Remember
Yeah.
that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like and honestly, if you love it, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like something that you enjoy, and
It's creation, man.
and you don't mind spending that much time on it.
Yeah, and that's what we say on the podcast a lot too, bro. Is like
Yeah.
we've said this a lot on the podcast. Is like
Uh-huh.
we want to make this podcast as a therapeutic type of thing.
Yeah.
Like we bring
Yeah.
people on here and interview them too, but like we wanna be able to like grow ourselves as people
Yeah.
and interviewers and
Yeah.
podcasters
Yeah.
that we we like have these conversations where it sparks interest and like it just it makes us feel better to talk about them because we're releasing those topics, I guess.
Yeah.
In a way,
those expressions.
Those expressions, and like it's just bettering us as people, like.
Yeah.
Cause that's how you get better as a person and grow as a person. It's just talking with people and like talking about the things that you value and your opinions and stuff, and just conversing back and forth and seeing the other person's point of view.
And see, the thing, Hector, you might throw some shade for me because I said this, but even if we fail as a podcast, the Bull City Pioneers podcast, if we fail as a podcast, okay, but just to say, if we ever fail as a podcast, I wouldn't mind because I knew that I grew as a person. Like, I don't mind that I failed at this if I grew as a person. Like that's the most important thing that I take from creating a podcast and having conversations with different people from different backgrounds and different areas is that I grew a lot as a person. Even from the start, although we've had like a little bit over a year, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've grown a lot, I feel, because of the podcast, and I feel like this is just a source of growing as a person. And I don't mind. I don't mind if I fail at this, because I know that the reward was
most definitely.
special.
I most definitely respect y'all guys. Your hustle and all. Even though you don't have a place right now, but y'all still. The videos out there, and all that. And that's what it's all about,
and
bro.
The same thing as you, man.
Yeah.
Even if maybe you don't have a studio, but that's fine because you still go to the studio and pay, but you still, you get that shit out. You create that fucking content, And that's what not many people will do that. Which is like sacrifice.
People will just complain about it.
Yeah.
I can't do it because of this and that. Make time for it.
Like just
definitely.
start where you're at. Just create time. Start with what you have. I think Gary Vee said that. Okay. Start with what you have.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And speaking of struggle, I wanted to talk about what is it what's one thing that you feel like that you've experienced as like since you've been doing this that's kind of like not necessarily broke you, but like has brought you to that brink of like, damn, like I don't know if I'm gonna do this anymore, or like, or if that's even happened yet, like, or you feel like you're just on a roll, you're always like on that high when you're doing music, like have you ever had any of that?
There's definitely down moments sometimes, There's down moments like damn, I've been doing this for so many years and haven't gotten anywhere. I'm still living with my mom and dad and all, but that's what makes me more hungrier. That's what makes my records more like aggressive and just go more harder, And I just think about my parents all the time, and I think about other people out the streets, like holding up signs, hey, can I get $1 and need to eat? Maybe if I push myself harder, I could probably help the culture out, If I ever make it huge, y'all guys can help the culture too, and we can all work together and all, we can help each other out because that's what just gets me pushing and all that, just like,
I mean, and fun fact, just like kind of like not random, but still kind of random. I read an article a couple days ago that it basically said that there's like a hip hop renaissance happening in North Carolina, which is crazy.
I don't know if you told me about that, but I saw that somewhere too.
You saw that too? There you go.
Not an article, but like I saw that like title somewhere.
Yeah, I clicked on the URL and I kind of read a little bit about it, and it's true. It's like there's basically is what I'm trying to say is North Carolina is gonna probably become the next.
California, Atlanta, just like the known,
the known cities to produce music.
Definitely,
there you go.
I definitely believe that.
So we're definitely gonna get the triangle on the fucking map for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
The Dream hasn't done it yet. I don't know what will.
To be honest, I mean we have a shitload of people. I mean I don't know if you know Son of Four Vegas. Do you know him?
Might have heard of him.
Yeah, but he just went on tour with DaBaby, and DaBaby is he's from Charlotte. So it's like.
Yo, speaking of it, did y'all see the video that he posted on his
profile? Yeah, I was actually watching that earlier.
Where like he beat some guy up in the
wall. It's like pants was all.
Was it in the Gucci store? It was in the Gucci store.
Yeah.
And like the dude, like he was just taunting him, and he went up and he like busted his nose, bro. It was crazy.
Shit.
You ever seen it?
In the Gucci store?
Well, like
was it started?
Like he had the camera and you saw just like that, like one guy threw a punch, a fist, and like the camera just started moving, so you couldn't see what went on after that, and then just cut to like the end of the fight. He was on the floor with like a blanket.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man, I have no comment to that, man.
Damn.
Honestly, no comment to that, man.
I mean,
God bless his soul, man, honestly.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
be
yeah,
honest,
yeah.
y'all.
What's the
Let's be
level?
honest. I mean,
Yeah, people.
you just gotta do what you gotta
Yeah.
do. Sometimes self-defense is a good thing.
Yeah.
You gotta learn
Yeah,
self-defense sometimes.
and he wasn't the one who swung first, so.
There you go.
The guy did started it too.
Yeah.
He should have not.
See,
started
and that's another thing as like, you know, content creators, that you get a lot of backlash, especially when you're starting out or you're not at a certain level. You get so much fucking hate.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's, I mean,
It's envy, man.
it's envy and,
Yeah,
and,
man.
and it's like, yeah, you're hating, but have you ever created anything? I mean, there you go. It's like, you know, at least we had the balls to do this shit.
Heck yeah.
And I said, even if we do fail, fuck it.
Yeah.
I mean, at least we did some shit,
Heck
you
yeah,
know?
man.
Well, actually, so you're hating, but you're still giving me attention.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, this, hey, well, wait, does it go back to like any attention is good attention?
Attention.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about
What do you
that
think?
either.
Yeah, attention, man. Speaking of the envy and attention on this subject, man. Honestly, man, like envy is very deep. Honestly, if you guys thinking about it, you
Yeah.
know, it's like your heart is very cold and everything, and then it's like at the same time I kind of feel the person, and at the same time I don't, because like, you know, we don't know the other person, what he's going through. You know, it's like his background story. Maybe he didn't have parents that you know give him the attention, you know, like that he deserved, you know, and the care and all. And maybe he was a good guy, you know, like this person that was once good and went to school, but he got picked on. Nobody liked him, you know, he was lonely, no friends and all. So I kind of feel where the dark side comes from. But yeah, at the same time, it is kind of messed up and all, you know, where there's a lot of the youth and children be going through that and all. And that's where the envy starts, because this person never got into self-confidence or nobody to believe in the kid, you know.
That's a big major source of envy.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's where it comes from. It is messed up. Sometimes we as humans, we say, man, screw those haters. They're just haters and envy. But we think about it, the background story, we don't really get to realize that, you know.
Of course,
And, just like background story behind it, you know.
And question, sorry. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
definitely. It's cool, man. And I just feel like we just all need to just start showing more love, you know, to people, saying hello, hey, how you doing? You know, just simply, you know, like. But if this person's really that aggressive, then God bless his soul, you know, just kind of step away, you know. But it's really that aggressive, yeah, man, you know.
Yeah, I know,
definitely.
But kind of switching gears.
Yeah, definitely.
Usually, do you perform anywhere, or like, do you have any future performances coming up soon?
I'm definitely trying to do a show down at Lincoln Theater. Hey, I'm trying to aim for that, man. You know, just right now, I've been doing open mics down at Emerge Raleigh.
Yeah,
and I'm just trying to.
Stories on them.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
You were on there with like another guy. I don't know.
Young Raiden. That's the homie boy, man. Yeah, shout out Young Raiden, man. I know a lot of friends, man. I got a lot of friends. Shout out to
Wait,
Raiden.
and what this location? What is it called?
Emerge Raleigh is in downtown.
Is it like a cafe or what?
Yeah,
is it?
artist cafe.
Oh, okay, an artist cafe.
You should come through, man. Just
I've been there like twice, I think.
Twice.
Wait, South Raleigh, East Raleigh, North Raleigh, West
It's
Raleigh.
in McDowell Street.
Maybe that was true.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
I think I missed that.
I still don't like know. I don't even know the freaking streets in my own
Yeah.
city, bro. Like,
Bro.
I'm like lost here, bro. I was gonna have my GPS here.
Hey man, I know Capitol Boulevard. That's about it. Yo.
Fair, man. It's all
Nah,
good,
shit.
man.
I'm bad at directions, bro.
Yeah.
Well, like, if I see it, I'll know it, but I never know by name.
Oh, yeah,
That's-
fair,
I
man.
never know like
Yeah, guys, GPS.
GPS,
GPS
all the time.
Two GPS.
Yeah,
Always
same,
all
man.
the same time.
Yeah,
Shit,
man.
bro.
GPS
I
everywhere.
keep the
Yeah.
strap, though.
Bro, GPS,
Yeah.
GPS strap. That's what you meant.
GPS strap. But usually, how many hours do you spend? Like, how often do you go to the studios? Do you go like on weekdays? I know you go on weekdays, but like, how many
Mainly,
hours a week do you think you spend at the studio?
Weekends, probably like 2 or 3 hours.
2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, 2 or 3 hours. Just
Not
studio
bad.
time and all that.
Not
Yeah.
bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
And when is this mixtape gonna drop?
Oh man, I cannot say the release date yet.
Damn.
But,
Fuck.
In the fall, you said, right?
you can say the fall. Yeah.
The fall.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
gonna be this fall.
All right. That's cool.
The
That's
mix
cool.
drop.
The
Yeah.
fall. Okay.
Definitely. And the goal is trying to drop 3 music videos too.
3 music.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
I'm
Definitely.
down. I'm hyped
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Oh, okay, question.
Okay, what's up?
Just kind of like a clue.
Yeah.
Are the music videos gonna be in North Carolina? I mean Raleigh, or like you might switch it up and go down to Charlotte, or
Definitely, one of them is definitely gonna be in Raleigh.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely
All right.
Raleigh. And then there's other ones. It might be somewhere else probably. Still got to figure it out. Haven't got to figure everything out. But yeah, man, definitely.
So you as a North Carolina, well, yeah, you're native, definitely. Yeah. We're probably a little shaky on that native part. But what's your favorite? Is Raleigh your favorite like city? Is what I'm trying to say. I know it's your city, but like, is it your favorite city? I mean, let's be honest. A lot of people live in Durham, Bull City, but it's not their favorite city.
He said Durham, Bull City.
But it's not their favorite city. But I'm like,
listen, man,
I mean, it's fine.
Listen, if I was like from Garner, I would still have pride for Garner, you know?
Yeah.
It don't matter where I'm from. I'm just happy, man, where I'm raised, you know? I'm Raleigh. If I was from Clayton, I'd be, it's all about Clayton. If I was from Garner, Garner. But yeah, I just have so much pride with Raleigh, honestly. But I would definitely like to travel maybe California or New York, you know? Definitely.
I get California vibes from you, bro.
Really?
I get California vibes, to be honest. Yeah. I don't know about you, Edgar, but I do. A little bit, yeah.
Me and him are actually trying to go over to Charlotte because we've been talking about it for a long time. Because he's been to Charlotte before. I've never been.
You've never been?
Well, I've been once, but that was in high school for like a college tour.
We should definitely go to Charlotte sometime.
We all need to go, bro. We all need to go. We're trying to like do a couple episodes down in Raleigh. Probably get like a I don't know, probably like stay, be minimal. Yeah. Minimal. Stay at a motel, 5-star.
We were recording the hotel room.
Oh God.
Bro, Charlotte has a lot of locations, outdoor locations where you can record, and it's like there's no background.
I have so much respect for Charlotte. Man, Charlotte has like a big movement down there, you know. It has a big movement. So much respect for Charlotte, you know.
Yeah. Dude. And I'm just like, I'm thinking like, right now this just kind of popped into my head. It's like,
definitely, man.
It's crazy how Son of Four Vegas, he started in Stanford.
Yeah.
That's like country.
Yeah.
Like that's country. But now you see him, he's like all over the fucking U.S. On a U.S. tour with DaBaby. Yeah. And it's just like, it's crazy. It's like, you don't need, how I said, it ties back to the idea of, you just start with what you have, you know?
Yeah, exactly, man.
Start with whatever the fuck you have.
Whatever you
go
have,
with it.
you just go.
And I'm pretty sure that man went on for like, he's been at it for a couple years, because I think he's like, I think he's like 24. I feel like I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But
he's in his 20s probably.
Yeah, in his 20s, but he looks older for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. But yeah. So where can they find you? What's your social media? What platforms can they find your music?
Plug.
Go ahead.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can find me at SolisJ919. SoundCloud, you can find me at SolisJ Songs, and YouTube, you can find me at SolisJ. And
cool. So you can find me there, guys. Fun fact, you guys. We're recording. I know this is a different setting. We are in what is this called? A
guitar center room.
Guitar center room. Yeah. I mean, hey, it's
got sound panels.
Yeah. We need to get when we get our studio, bro. We need to
definitely.
Spongy. I need to learn how to. I want to learn how to make these. That's the thing. But hey, these are very nice.
One thing that I wanted to ask you too, kind of going back to like Latinos in music and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
How long you said 17? You've been doing it since you were 17?
Just like
seriously?
Started like seriously 17, but started off honestly was 11 years old. Between 11 or 12, just like freestyling. My first song I ever written was 14, but taking it serious, consider at 17.
Did you play any instruments?
I haven't played instrument, but along the future I'm
just
definitely trying.
Hey,
yeah. There you go. Pull it out.
Wait, you beatbox?
Hey.
Something like that.
All right. I'm gonna put you on the spot now.
I'm
gonna put you on the spot.
Yeah, what's up, man?
I want you to throw me a couple verses or some bars.
Definitely.
No problem. I'm gonna put the key up for you too.
Right.
There.
What's up, man? Let him drink some Gator, man. I'm about it, man.
Hey.
Hey, you can drop some old, some current, some
Anything,
new,
man.
and we won't even
Like-
ask. We won't know. We won't even know.
We won't know. So
No,
just drop
I'm
that.
gonna do off the dome, man.
Off the dome?
Off the
Okay,
dome, no
that's
rap.
cool, that's cool.
Yeah, it's your boy Solis J / mix and drop checker, yo. I spit in acapella and every time that whatever I do. Singing it back when nobody bet you that but city pioneer. Yo, this is the interview. Yo, it's kinda crazy and amazing. I've been doing it so many times and daily, yo. This is off the top. Singing back and every time I'm about to drop mix and drop this far, you already know. Spitting nobody been cool when nobody been singing it back when nobody been sleep. Yo, I'm in the new ever trusting folks can be a screw killer in the game for this nation. Never respect a few fellas. But your funny joking looking gorillas about it. I'm a super duper and Hannibal. Yeah, I ain't zipping no damage. Yeah, check it out now. Yeah, it took so many years. I just had to face my fears. I'm chilling right here with Bull City Pioneer.
Hey! Oh shit! Damn! You do this shit so fast. I wasn't even thinking, man. Just what the fuck, man? What the fuck? Wait. My tongue will get tied up, bro.
Bro, you got a dictionary up there, bro. You got a dictionary.
Been at it for many
My
years.
tongue will be throwing up like gang signs and shit. Get tied up and shit, bro. How do you do that?
Yeah, man. It's just honestly practice, man. Honestly, you know, like I've been doing this since like 11 years old, you know, and just practice. Honestly, definitely studying the grades, you know, just listening to albums, classic albums, and all. Doing your research, doing your homework, you know, that's what it's all about.
We're definitely gonna use this clip as one of the highlights.
Yeah.
For the promo
Yeah, okay.
For sure. For sure.
Definitely,
Heads
bro.
up. But yeah, yo, that's mad. Holy shit, bro. And, yo, a lot of people might be gonna say, hey, you know, you're probably using auto-tune.
Yeah.
Fuck nah,
Auto-tune is real vocals, man.
Real vocals.
Majority of these rappers are just technology, man.
Yeah,
just,
man.
So, man. Y'all machines. I'm real, man, bro.
Shit, all natural, bitches.
Heck yeah, man. We are
Right,
naturals.
nice.
Yeah. It's all love, man, honestly.
Well, what is one thing that you think that like Latinos in the music industry or the creative space lack?
Black.
Other than that, you know, like not being real
Yeah.
with their like
Just
voice or
lack.
music or whatever.
I feel like a lot of Latinos, man, just need to give more credit. I mean, showing more pride, you know, where they're coming from and all, you know.
Yeah.
Showing more pride and not just like being in cameras, be like, yeah, I'm Mexican. Not showing that you are proud from your culture and all that, you know.
Raise the fucking flag.
Raise raise the flag.
Raise
Exactly
the
like you
flag,
said.
there
Just
you
raise
go.
the flag and all. And just doing it for the people out there, you know, for the Hispanics and all.
Hey, man,
and
we a whole
just
community.
definitely showing,
Yeah.
bro, like, you know, where we coming from and all, that we can do it here in this American land, you know.
See, and that's one thing that I see a lot, you know, nowadays. Well, there's an increase now, but back in the day,
Yeah.
like the black community, they listen and support their black artists. You know,
Definitely.
they listen to the music and you know, but the thing is that in the U.S. they speak one language.
Yeah.
It's just English.
English,
You know,
exactly.
it's not that everybody can understand what they're saying.
Definitely.
You know, same thing with other races. It's just one language. Or other minorities in the U.S. It's just one language. They understand what they're
Yeah.
saying. But in the Latino community, a lot of Latinos don't understand English.
Yeah.
So when they hear Latinos rapping or singing or
Yeah.
performing
Definitely.
in Spanish,
Yeah.
I mean in English, they're like, well, I don't understand.
I don't understand. We
understand.
use the
So,
Spanish songs. Yeah,
like,
exactly.
like,
Yeah.
I feel like if they knew English or if we all spoke
Yeah.
one language, then there would be a much more, you know, support.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm most definitely gonna along the future I'm gonna have a Spanish record and project, you know,
Hey, yeah.
definitely, man.
It's up,
For the
y'all.
people out
It's
there,
up.
yeah. Yeah, I have a lot
I mean,
of
I hear you say some Spanish.
Yeah. definitely, yeah, man.
Mhm.
But just like more like just to put out the, you know, like the culture out there, you know,
Culture,
just like definitely gonna have a Spanish project out there, you know.
Yeah,
Did you grow up like mainly speaking English? Like, do you have siblings?
It's just yeah, definitely siblings. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister.
Gotcha.
Dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the real question is, at home, was it Spanglish or English?
Man,
Spanish,
listen,
Spanish?
man, I'm gonna be straight up with y'all guys. I'm Spanglish.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spanglish.
Same
But
here,
like,
bro. Same
oh,
here.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Well,
bro.
like-
Spanglish, bro.
Like with
Yeah.
my parents, I mainly try to. Well, no, I can't lie.
But-
I do sometimes speak English to my
Yeah.
parents, but I try to speak Spanish.
Same.
And if I don't know the word in Spanish, then I'd say in English, and then I'm like
Definitely,
Google
man.
Translate is my.
But
friend.
definitely, man. But definitely try to aim for like improving a little bit more of my
Yeah,
Spanish and all
Spanish,
prior
yeah,
to
yeah.
definitely.
See,
man.
No, I'm the most fluent of my siblings.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
And the thing is like living in a country like the U.S., although we're all of a melting pot,
Yeah.
like you lose a little bit of Spanish each year. Let's be
Yeah.
honest, because you're surrounded by people who speak
English. We're taught in English at school, definitely, yeah, man.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like that is like that Latino pride that you were talking about, that we need these people like artists, people in the music or the creative space to kind of like push a little bit more forward.
Yeah, man.
And we just want to bring those things to light, you know.
Definitely.
Like that's why we're doing this podcast too. We're trying to we were like, ever since the start of the year, we were trying to transition it into like us trying to, you know, give more love to like the Latinos instead of just focusing so much on like
just the majority of
the podcast and what we talk about and like interviews and stuff. We wanted to incorporate like our people and like our community and stuff and bring them up too.
Speaking of Latino now, I feel like we just don't get enough the credit, man.
Hell no, bro.
Just period, man. Honestly, look like.
Okay, there's a period where. Oh wait, should I get into this? I'ma just do it.
Go ahead, man.
There's always been a form of slavery in the U.S. I brought this up when we were on the 3 podcast, but now I'm gonna say it on this podcast.
Oh yeah.
There's always a form of slavery in the U.S. Back then, back in the day, it was black people, and it was just straight up slavery. What we have now is modern slavery.
Yeah.
It's a different version of slavery, clearly. And the race that's, you know, being the slaves in modern slavery is definitely Latinos. Definitely. Hands down, Latinos.
Definitely
for
happening
sure.
now.
For sure. Don't get me wrong.
Why you say that though?
Huh?
Why you say that though? Don't just say that.
Okay, I'll tell you what. But don't get me wrong. The black community, minorities get oppressed. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But
that's not news to anybody.
Yeah, that's not that's not news to anybody. But I'm just getting it clear. But I know that because there's so much abuse that can go on with Hispanics and Latinos, because they cross the border and they're like, they work in the fields for literally almost a couple dollars an hour, and they're like, hey, if you don't, if you quit or something, they almost blackmail them. They're like, okay, we're gonna, I'm gonna call ICE and make sure you get sent back.
Damn.
And they're like, fuck, no, I don't want to do that. Or they charge them for living spaces and that gets taken off their paycheck, and it's just like at that point, they have almost no money.
I definitely agree. Right now, that's what's going on right now with the Latinos and all. We're not getting enough the credit because majority of the buildings is built by us. I'm sorry to say it.
Yeah.
Without us, there's no there's no like schools, buildings, and all that. The roads and everything. Who does it? We do it. I'm sorry, but
if you go home,
oh definitely.
If you go home and you eat any produce, any vegetables, any fruits, anything that you bought from Walmart, Target, and any grocery store, you're welcome. You're welcome. Because Latinos probably picked it, or made it, or produced it. Yeah. So. I mean, and it's just the reality of the things. I mean,
definitely.
It's like in America, you play tag. Yeah. It's like tag, you're the fucking slave now, or at the bottom of the.
That was deep, bro. I didn't know where you were going with that first. I was like, oh, it's like that.
Fun fact, I got that from Carlos Mencia. I referenced him. That's what he said before.
The thing is, I feel like honestly, Latinos, blacks, I don't care if you're purple, white, we just all have to unite, man, together, We need to break this whole fucking racism and all, And not just one person can do that, just like if we all get together and all, we gotta break it because like there's a lot of racism going on in this world. The black has suffered too, Hispanics suffer right now, and I mean has been suffering for a long time, and and other race and all. But definitely, we just need to find a way like to all get together and break this stuff. I feel like anything is possible. Here in the American land, they complain about for not having papers. Like if you don't have papers, you're a slave. You need to go back to your. What is papers? It's just a piece of papers. You think about it, just papers.
How does that dictate?
How does that affect you from being a person and for not having the rights to have your opportunities? We're all freaking humans. We're created by sin, by God, So why does that matter, and all that,
Yeah, you're fucking totally agree, man.
Yeah, so
I think about that a lot, dude.
Really?
I think about that a lot.
Definitely,
why is this piece of paper telling me what I can and can't do?
We're all human, like definitely. We just all need to get together and take Donald Trump out too, at the White House, man.
I'm pretty sure everybody hates Donald Trump at this point.
We need to get him out.
Yeah, to be honest, man.
I might run for president. No, I'm just
Solis Bay, president.
Hey, vote for me, man. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, quick question, man.
You been doing like his speeches and like rapping them shits out, bro.
You rapping up
Question,
yeah,
bro.
vote for me.
Question.
Guys.
Yo,
Random.
that's crazy.
But is Kanye West still running for president in 2020? Bro, I know he a long time ago. I think it was like 2016 or something like that.
That was the
Yeah,
most important
definitely.
question of this interview.
Question of the day. Question of the day. Is Kanye West still running for president in 2020? No, I'm just kidding.
I think it's possible, man. I think Kanye will actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so just to start wrapping up a little bit, usually what we ask the guest or the pioneer is that they leave a question or a statement for the Pioneer Nation. What would you like to leave them?
Leave them like a question.
Question,
or,
statement, anything you want.
Um,
Even or like, come up to check out my mixtape in a little bit or something
Oh, yeah.
like that. Anything.
yeah, definitely. Yo, Bull City.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Bull City Pioneer. I appreciate you guys for watching and all, and please support these guys because they're the future movement and all, for the whole culture and all. And yeah, just keep supporting, keep sharing their videos and all because they're the big stars along the future. And if you do not support them, y'all gonna regret it. You're gonna make the biggest mistake and all. So yeah, man, just show love and everything. That's all I gotta say, man. So shades, I made you drive. Yeah.
You gonna start wrapping it up?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I almost forgot. You put me on the spot now. You put me on the spot now. All right. Well, I guess you already left your Instagram, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I want
Social
to
media.
just leave it again.
All right.
If you want to.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, SolisJ919. Snapchat, you can add me. It's that boy Solis. SoundCloud, Solis J Songs. And YouTube is Solis J. And be ready for the mixtape this fall. Mix it, drop the alter ego. Yeah.
Cool.
You heard it here, folks.
Yeah,
you heard
yeah.
it here first.
I appreciate you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Thank you so much, man. I
Thank you for
appreciate
coming
you.
down, man.
Hell
Yeah, definitely.
man.
Thank y'all for coming,
Well, he
man.
came out, but he still came out here, so yeah.
If y'all want some pizza, let me know. We can drive.
Oh, yeah,
Some
yeah.
pizza,
Of
yeah.
course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You like some what?
He knows the spots, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Let's go eat, man. You know?
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of the Bull City Pioneers.
Definitely.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Bull City Pioneers to stay updated on all the things that we do, on all the episodes we release. You can find us on YouTube as well at Bull City Pioneers. Make sure to like, subscribe, share this video with a friend,
Definitely.
family member, friend, your creative friends, and all that good
That's
stuff. And my name is Hector.
My name is Luis.
And my name is Solis J /Mixed Drops.
We'll see you on the next one.
See you around.